Hey, welcome back to Lochbaum Guitar. So we've gone over several open chords and we've gone through some keys, some really popular keys for a lot of songs. And today's video, I really want to teach you kind of an introduction into bar chords and why bar chords work and cool things you can do with them that will open up the fretboard for you. And they'll also let you play in keys that you can't really play in with open chords without a capo. Unless you're careful. But a lot of beginning players, you'll hit every string, and you haven't really built up that accuracy to just hit just the few strings that you want to hit. So bar chords are a great way to play in keys that don't have really good open chords without special tuning or without a capo. So let me show you why bar chords work. So I'm going to be playing with the E major chord. If you don't know what that chord is, just go back and look at my E major family chords, and I go through like all of the chords in the key of E, most popular ones anyway. And so this is E major, and you'll notice if I play the bottom strings that I'm not holding down, so I'm holding these strings, this top string is open, and then I'm got these two and this pointer finger. Those three strings are being pushed down, and then the bottom three are open completely. I'm not pushing anything down. Right? Now, if you've been paying attention, you'll know that I've been trying to hammer home that you can take chord structures and slide them up and down the guitar if you know the root notes. So for instance, this is an E major chord. If I know that each one of these frets represents a half step up of a scale, I can take this E major, and if I slide all of it over, just everything that I'm pushing down, so everything slides up one fret. So it sounded like this. That's an E major. If I slide everything up one, that triad right there is an F major chord. And if you go back and look at the video that I did for C major chords, you'll notice it sounds really similar to that. Because it is. It's the same notes. It's just played lower. So, how bar chords work, the reason why someone came up with them is because if I were to try and play the rest of the strings that I'm not pushing down on, like let's say I have this E major chord, and it sounds good with all the strings, and I slide it up a fret because I want to play an F major, and I know I can do that. You'll notice when I play these bottom strings and this top one, it sounds bad. And the reason why it sounds bad is because it's not part of that F major arpeggio. So what someone came up with, I don't know who to credit, but what a bar chord does is you basically are going to take one finger, usually the pointer finger, and you're going to take your thumb on the back and kind of pinch the guitar. And you want to try and pinch so that your finger is kind of pinching where this fret is. And then what you're going to do is so here's the easy way to think of it. Play an E major chord, but you're going to play it a little different. So instead of this fingering pattern where you've got your pointer finger and your middle finger and your ring finger, you are going to want to use your middle finger and then your ring finger and then your pinky on top. Below your ring finger. And the reason why you want to do that is because it sets you up perfectly for when you slide. So let's say this is an E major. Let's say I want to play an F major chord. Well, what I would do is I would slide everything up one, like we talked about, but then I still need to take care of this top string, and I still need to take care of these bottom three strings, or else they're not going to be they're not going to sound good with those F major notes, this arpeggio right here. So what I need to do is I need to take my pointer finger and I need to push down on that fret while keeping this E major structure. And all of a sudden, I have a bar chord and an F major chord. But it's based off of that E major, this E major structure. So that's E major. If I were to slide everything up and then push down right on that first fret right here, see right where that metal bar is, that's where I like to put my finger. And you really have to kind of pinch it and get used to this. So a good way to practice, the best way that I learned how to practice was to work on that pinch. So you've got your thumb and you've got your index finger on that bar. Now what I want to do is pinch the guitar, and then I want to try and get a clear note out of each one of the strings. That's how you know you're getting a good bar. And you might, depending on the guitar that you have and the strings that you have, you might have to practice getting your hand strength up. And then once you are comfortable with that and you can kind of get clean notes from it, then you start adding the rest of your fingers. So I might start with the middle finger next because it's just the closest one. It's easiest to reach. Right? And it doesn't really sound like a good chord now. I'm just giving you an example. And then once I've got a clean note out of that, then I would add my pinky and my ring finger. So when you're strumming a song, when you're playing, you don't have to squeeze it. You don't have to squeeze all of it, and you don't have to get notes out of all of it. Like you could just put light tension on the top, and you'll just try and get these top 4 strings. You just try and get sound out of those 4 strings. And the bottom, it's okay if it's muted a little bit. It kind of gives you that cool strumming sound. And another cool thing is when you start to get into strumming, to mute everything, all you have to do is like relax your hand, your left hand. So I'm squeezing right now, and that's me not squeezing. Okay, so that's an F major chord. Now just to show you how this works, the root note is going to be right here on this top string. So that is an F note. So I know that if I take this E major structure and I put a bar here on the first fret, that's an F. So that's how I know that this is an F major chord. Now if I were to slide all of this up 1 fret, so now I'm looking at this 2nd fret, this note right here, this is an F sharp. So if I do the same structure, so I bar, and then I put my middle finger, and then my ring finger up here, and then my pinky right here below it, it becomes an F sharp, and F sharp major chord. And same thing, if I were to slide it all up 1 more, because this is a G note, this is my root, this lets me know what the chord is going to be. So that's a G major bar chord. And you can tell if I play this, this is a G major chord. If you've seen my other videos going through it, you hear that G major. Now I can bar right here on the 3rd fret with that E shape. Same thing, right? Okay, so that is the top shape, and it works for whatever note you're barring. That is going to be the note of the chord for this top string. So for instance, if I wanted an A major chord, I could play it like this, like I've shown you, or I can find where that A note is going to be. So E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A. So it's on the 5th fret. So that's an A major. Same chord, right? Same notes. So practice, so it becomes important to know, you'll begin to put together this top string and what these notes are. And it becomes important because if you know what this top note is, this top string, then you can play any major chord that you want on this top string with that E shape. So let's say we wanted to play a B major. Well, this right here on the 7th fret is a B, so I would put my bar there, and then I would do that E major shape, and that's a B major. That's also a B major, just so you can compare it in here. So if I wanted a C, I would go up one more, and I know that the 8th fret on this string is a C, so then I would make that C major with that E structure. And you can see that that's the E chord. If I slide everything back to where the E was, that's an E major. If I slide everything back and then bar that C on the 8th, that is a C major chord. So hopefully that gives you a bunch of examples of where those popular chords are. Also, if you wanted a D major, it would be right here on the 10th fret. Okay? D major. So you'll begin to learn those as you play through songs, and you'll start to remember, oh, the 3rd fret is the G. That's the G note, so I can play G major this way. And then if I want to go from a G major to a C major, okay, well, I know the 3rd fret is a G, and I learned that the 8th fret is a C, so now I can do G to C. So this is a G major. Go to the 8th fret. This is a C major, same exact shape, and I slide it up 2 more to the 10th fret, and that becomes a D major. Back to the 8th, C major, and back down to the G. So hopefully that clears things up for you. If you've never worked with bar chords before, that's why they work. They're based off of chord structures for open chords, but if you played them without a bar, all those notes wouldn't match the chord. So that's why you have to put that bar and then do the shape, and then you get arpeggios, and it all fits together and sounds good. So that is the top structure. In the next video, I'll show you how to do minor chords with that same structure. And then in another video after that, I'm going to show you there's a bottom structure that is also played and used all the time, and will open up the next set of strings. So the ones that you can't reach on the top, this next structure will show you how to make chords off of bar chords off of the 2nd string. So tune into that, and thank you for your time.